All right, Junkie Nation, we got another MMA superstar for you. Gorgeous Georgian goes delivering Jared Cannonier, UFC middleweight. He's ranked number 4 in the USA Today Sports and MMA Junkie rankings. What's up, Jared? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. I don't want to steal my brother.
I'm ranked number 3.
That's on the UFC rankings, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we. Who's ahead of you in the UFC rankings?
Costa, Whittaker.
Because the champ isn't the number 1. Okay, there. So it matches ours because we just called the champ number 1, Israel,
okay.
And then we have Costa and Whittaker. So we match up. All right, cool. I definitely don't want to steal my brother's toothpick joke later, but I do want to ask you: is that a Benson Henderson thing down at the lab? Do a lot of you rock that toothpick?
No, I use a toothpick. I mean, I've always used a toothpick, like for getting food and shit out of my teeth and whatnot, and using it for other things. Miscellaneous. It's a miscellaneous tool that I have around.
Okay.
So, and it's a good what's the word? a good object to use for focusing. You know what I'm saying? You have the toothpick in your mouth. You can focus on the toothpick or use that focus and channel it into whatever you're doing. So there's many reasons for the toothpick, but not because Ben uses it. I've always found the toothpick useful.
You can even reset your internet. You have to click that little button in the back for 20 seconds. So yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Did you know that Benson Henderson about 10 years ago fought a whole fight with a toothpick in his mouth?
I did. I saw that fight, and I didn't know when it happened too. I was like, "What? This fool fought a fight with a toothpick in his mouth?" So, yeah, I don't know how he does it.
I would have swallowed it and choked on it, man. I would never do that.
I know, right? For real.
So I'll tell you something real quick since we're on the toothpick topic. I used to actually bite them in half, and then using my tongue, I would actually use it I could use it to do the inside of my teeth. And then I had one of those where I was talking to someone, and the next thing you know, I kind of swallowed it, and I felt like I was choking. Now, I don't think it would have obviously blocked the windpipe, but when you just have something, I had a scary incident, and finally I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna use the toothpick and then just toss it. I'm not gonna be Jared Cannonier. I'm not gonna be Benson Henderson. And always have it. It has its duty, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky business, right? I haven't graduated to doing the inside of my teeth with just my tongue. You know what I'm saying? I go across the aisle. I reach. But I must have been very traumatic for you. And if you ain't never used a toothpick before after that.
I could take it a step further. Do you like potato chips?
Not too much. They're just too salty, But I do like some. I like jalapeno chips.
Well, I'm a fan of Doritos, but sometimes I eat fast, and there's been 2 times in my life, maybe 3, they're all about 10 years apart, where I didn't crunch it enough, and when I swallowed it, I swear to God, it felt like I swallowed a razor blade. Yeah. Now, that one didn't come back up. It went all the way down my esophagus, and it sucked. It was painful. It takes about 2 to 5 minutes of agony until I guess finally it just reaches the acids of the stomach and goes away, or I don't know what happens. But
you didn't taste it with no water or nothing?
I think I tried that, but it's still, I don't know. Yeah. It was like wedged within the actual esophagus, maybe.
Man, dude.
I bet you didn't sign up for this to talk about toothpaste and Dorito chips, huh? You must be thinking, who are these fools in Las Vegas? Let's get to some scrap talk. I'm a Jared Cannonier cheerleader. I've been saying for a while, I feel like you're next after Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa fight. But it all hinges on recovery. I think we caught up with you in March or something. You told us the fall. Is that still on? Is the fall, I guess, defined as maybe late September, October, November? Is that still what you're targeting, or are you maybe ahead, or where are you in your recovery?
Well, let me just put it like this. I'm 100%. I'm ready to go right now.
Oh, good.
Let me just put it like this. I'll be ready. I'm able to be an alternate for the title fight coming up here in September, but our projected plans are for October to get back in there. I done broke this thing now, so.
All right. Well, that's interesting. I'm a big fan of the alternates, but I like alternates who also have a fight. So let's say they matched you up against someone, because I know that either way you get paid, but I think one way you only get paid the show, the other one you get paid the win if you win, and then those bonuses you rack up for knocking people out, that's always up there as well. But yeah, you're right. You can slide in if they need you, or you at least still get to fight. Which one are you, more specifically, which one would you prefer? Just to be the guy that's ready to fill in, but if they don't go, then you're out? Or do you actually want to line up versus someone as well on the 19th of September?
Well, I can't. Well, well, let's just say that I've gotten a few phone calls, and I've said yes to both. I'm ready to be an alternate, like I said, and I'm ready for my contenders fight. And as far as my therapist, he feel more comfortable with me being back in the me actually fighting in the octagon in October. The more time, the better for, especially for the repair. So October is the time that we talked about. October is the time I told my manager. That's the time we told the UFC, and think the stars just seem to be aligning for me, because I got an offer for October. And hopefully, I'm assuming with that offer, the prospect of being the alternate for the next title fight. So things are happening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back. Hold tight, get ready, because I've been ready. You know what I'm saying? I just because I've been on the sideline with the pec tear doesn't mean I haven't been doing. We haven't been doing what we need to be doing. You know what I'm saying, to get to where we need to be. We, as in, me, my team, those who support me. So on top, with that being said, shout out to Aries Physical Therapy for keeping me right where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Get me past where I was. You know what I'm saying? So I'm better. I'm stronger. Physically speaking. You know what I'm saying? Technically speaking, my skills are better. I'm employing more of my techniques in my sparring. It's just going to be better when I get back in. I'm going to be better.
All right, so your phone's ringing. You're getting offers. Sounds like October's the more likely scenario, but I think, just to be clear, what you are saying is that you're going to prep your body so that if you are needed in the third week of September, you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. Okay, fair enough. Now let's go to the pectoral muscle here, the injury. What I imagine the grappling was the final stage, right? Like whizzers and wrestling and things like that, or did it actually boil down to more in terms of your boxing, your kickboxing game, your overall striking game? Which one was like the final hurdle you had to cross?
It was you mean as far as coming back, rehab?
Yeah, being able to do every single type of practice that a camp presents.
Well, grappling was the last thing I reincorporated in my training. Like wrestling, that's how I tore the pec in the first place. On top of that, personally, I wanted to get back to punching, you know what I'm saying? Punching things, kicking things, and doing that part of it. But I've been grappling for, end of July now? For about a month and a half now. And I could have been grappling well before that, but, I'm listening to my doctor, my therapist, and we're taking things slow. And it's like I said, I'm back. Well, I feel like I'm 100%. I haven't had any issues with it. Grappling was the last thing I incorporated. That was the last hurdle, the last test to see whether this thing is good to go. And so far, so good.
Jared, we speak to you pretty steadily throughout the year for the last couple years. And the one thing that I've noticed is in ups and downs, it doesn't really matter. You're always kind of the same. Like you always have a positive outlook on things. Can you talk a little bit about your support system, the people around you, and maybe the influences that they have on you to keep you in that state of mind, because it's pretty shocking, man. You're always in a good mood and you're always talking positive.
Well, I can come up with a whole bunch of catchphrases, that we've all heard and stuff. But first and foremost, I would like to say happy wife, happy life. I'm a good person, what I'm saying? My wife is a good person, what I'm saying? In a world full of people, we happen to come together, what I'm saying? And when our energies come together, we're making something bigger than ourselves. So that's been our goal, what I'm saying? Even more so now. And we've been, what I'm saying, putting in the work that we need to do to be successful, that is successful in the manner that we want to be. So, and first and foremost, that involves not involving anybody else in what we have going on. So for the majority of our marriage, me and my wife have been doing everything on our own, So it's been us building this thing again. Two good energies, I feel, creating something even better. And from this launching pad, what I'm saying, I've been able to go out into the world and find things that will make me a better person, that continue to make me better. And excuse me, and create a world that, let me undo. And create, anyway, but just create a life that's, beneficial for me, my family, anybody else who I come into contact with. So that's just I guess a peek at our moral stance on the world and what we want to do. And that just, again, that platform for me to come up off of, and to come back to at the end of the day. What I'm saying? I can come back home and not have to worry about no drama, no bull crap or anything like that. It's me, my family, my kids. I know where everybody is. We know where everybody is. We don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we're just happy. And you guys are just seeing that in my martial arts. So,
Jared, what about, let's go back to an even younger Jared, and I don't even know if this still applies, but when I was growing up, when George was growing up, you put on the right movie and we get inspired, and all of a sudden, we get that extra round in us, or something, those thoughts start to come in. Was there ever like a movie or a song or something that just hits you right in the gut, and all of a sudden it's go time? Is there one for you, and can you talk about that?
There's been a few, plenty, at many points in my life. As far as my athleticism and my martial arts, I would say my first inspiration was my older brother. He's like 15 months older than me, but he played football. He was an athlete, and he pretty much, I wouldn't say bullied me, but he pressured me into wanting to be stronger and better than him. You know what I'm saying? Not him in particular, but just be stronger and better, to be able to be stronger and better for myself. And he was, what I'm saying, my mountain to climb at that point in time. And he's a big dude, what I'm saying, offensive lineman, real strong, and needless to say, the guy was strong. So he got me into working out and lifting weights. And as far as the movie, the first Hulk, even though that movie sucked, just watching when that dude transformed into Hulk, you know what I'm saying? I could feel my energy rising. I can feel that reaction in my skin, my pores opening up. And, at that point in time, I was in college. I was in college, and every day, what I'm saying, I would, after my classes, I would work out for like 3 hours and then run home. And it was in the summertime in Texas, and it gets hot. It gets hot in Texas, so I would do that and go home and watch the show. And actually, I'm sorry, I would go home after class, watch the show, run to the gym, work out, and then run back home and watch the show again. So that movie right there really inspired me to get swole. As far as fighting, plenty of movies, what I'm saying, plenty of cartoons really imprinted on me. Ninja Turtles is, comes to the forefront of my mind. Everybody says Bruce Lee. Any combat martial arts movie, The Guyver was a really good one. The Guyver movies, both of them, the first one and the second one. The anime was awesome. I like cartoons, anime. but anything that piqued the interest of the martial artist in me. So anything I could draw from, anything I could take from, anything I could learn from, was that was it from when I was a young child. I necessarily didn't get to do martial arts until I was an adult, but it is what it is. The fire has always been there. The spark has always been there, and right now you're just seeing that spark has turned into a roaring flame.
Now, I have tons of MMA questions, but you bring up Ninja Turtles, and this whole thing's gonna go off. Which Ninja Turtle are you closer to? Which one's your favorite?
Well, back in the day, it was me, my brothers, and my cousins. We grew up together, and we all had to pick one, and I was always Rafael. Not because I don't know. I wouldn't say I was angry, but I was more introverted. I am more introvert. I am introverted, but I guess that's why. I guess I got the last pick anyway. So everybody got to pick who they wanted, and I got to pick whoever was last. So Rafael is what it was. And to be honest, I've taken on some of the energies of Rafael. I have way more control of my anger and my emotions than he does, but I have taken on some of his qualities especially from the new moves. They got him as big, swole, and strong, and I like that. I like that energy. So
let me ask you a couple questions here about your intensity. Like for us fans who will never step into an octagon or a cage or a ring, compare what it's like when you're like in a street altercation, whether you get in the fight or you just have maybe they have to separate you, but obviously your adrenaline goes up. Compare that to when the fight's almost about to start in the octagon. Is there any similarity, or as a professional, have you been able to dial it down and remain calm and then rage only when you have to strike or grapple?
Well, true masters of their minds can take that energy and transplant it from those moments that you spoke of and put it right there wherever they need it, most. So I try to practice that. I try to take those moments from all of my experiences where I feel like I'm a god in there and I can't be touched. And if you try to touch me, it'll hurt you. I try to take that and transplant to those very first moments of a fight. And of course, as time goes on, I'm able to fit that perspective in better. We call it, getting through the filling out process and all that stuff. So that's my perspective. Again, I think I'm one of the best in the world, and I've acquired skills that reinforce that. So my goal is to be able to implement those techniques at will, and being smart enough to know when to do that.
A lot of athletes say, I can hear my coach. I don't care whether there's a crowd or not. Does that go for all of them, or do you mostly pick up crouch or hendo? Can you pick them all out of a crowd when they are barking at you, instructions or anything like that?
At certain points of the fight, if I'm like in the midst of like a huge scramble and there's no pauses in it, no time for me to stop listening and then react, you don't really hear it then. And to be honest, for the most part, you hear things, but in the fight, you have the controller. But there has been in all the fights that I've had under the lab that I've heard them at points in critical points of the fight that have turned, that worked to my benefit.
Can you give us an example of one of those incidents?
My fight against Branch was one. He had taken me down. He had my left leg wrapped up in his legs, and he had my they had what they call a Dagestani handcuff on me, and I was against the fence. I was on one knee trying to posture up, and I looked over to my corner and I saw Coach right there saying, "Turn your knee down and get your leg out." I turned my knee down and started pulling my leg out and started to get up, and got up and turned them around on the fence and started going to work. Another instance, what's the fight? The next fight, the Anderson fight. You know what I'm saying? I talked with my coach Eddie Cha. I told him to just count out my kicks, and that's just going to reinforce me using the kicks. So he was calling those kicks out. You know what I'm saying? Got up to 11, and it was a done deal. I'm trying to get this camera straight. There we go. We got up to 11, and it was a done deal. And again, for the Hermanson fight, at the break of the fight, coach was telling me look for that uppercut. He's ducking off my jab, so look for that uppercut. And 15 seconds into that next round, I hit him with that uppercut and sat him down on his ass and finished him off. So those are just three. You know what I'm saying? He's done it plenty of times, and I trust him.
I used to love hearing stories about, hey, did the game plan go according to how, and did you envision and all that? And I'm starting to become more of a fan as the sports evolve of adjustments that are made during the fight, even if it's in the 60 seconds in between rounds or if it's during the fight via that communication that we talked about. And I think when it is implemented, man, that's like the most beautiful thing out there, for a mixed martial artist. I mean, you already trust your coaches a ton, but imagine how everything just rises, that connection with those people, them with you and you with them, when you are able to execute like that in a split second.
It is good to really see it in action right there. We hear about it and we want to see it. It's very inspiring to see that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So not only that, you know what I'm saying, these are moments that anybody can learn from. Anybody who's watching, any coach, any fighter watching can learn from those sort of moments. So if anybody goes back and watch those fights and see that, they'll be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Those coaches have an eye for what's really going on in the fight, and the fighter trusts his coach enough and trusts himself enough to use the technique, and it worked perfectly. So it's good. It's really good to see those things work out. I learned lots from seeing it happen. So hopefully other people can do the same.
We've already taken 20 minutes of your time, but I got a couple more questions. How we doing on time? I want to be respectful of,
I'm good, man. I don't have anything to do for the rest of the day, so.
All right. A couple silly ones coming your way here.
Uh-oh.
It's like 120 in Arizona. How come your fan's not on above you?
Well, I'm used to 80 degrees. So we set our thermostat to 80 degrees during high tide. That's when the electric companies charges us a whole lot fucking more for electricity during the peak hours, they say. But we keep it at 80. That was what we were told when we moved here. Maybe we were told 85, but that's a little too hot. And me personally, I'm one for being comfortable. Money, I don't care about money, to be honest. I don't even like the financial system. I don't like money in general, so I don't care I don't care, you know what I'm saying, especially when I spend it on something that I want. Something that, we want, collectively. I'm not selfish with it either, and I'm not irresponsible either. So I'm acclimated too, you know what I'm saying? I get out here and I do 1 hour rides on my bike in the heat of the day. I love the sun. I love sitting out in the sun. I love getting lots of sun. I moved from Alaska in the best time of the year to Arizona in what people will call the worst time of the year during the summertime. So I'm not afraid to get out there. I'm not afraid to experience the heat. The problem is people try to resist it when they're in it. You got to let that stuff come in you and out of you. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit flow in you. It's energy. It's not just heat for you to deal with. It's energy. So you learn how to use that energy, make our lives a lot better.
I got you. All right. I always thought Vegas was pretty hot, and then I started looking at and hearing the weather of what Arizona's like, and you guys are kind of like another level, man. That's crazy what you guys deal with. Also, go ahead.
In places with all this concrete too, you know what I'm saying? There's an unnatural heat as well. There's an unnatural atmosphere with all this damn concrete around us as well. So I just wanted to add that in there. Okay.
And then the next question is the Rona. Arizona got hit hard. Did that impact at all your training or just your lifestyle? Did you even have to ever become a teacher at all to your kids? How we heard that happened, like mostly in the spring, I guess, when this first started. But did it alter your life as a professional athlete?
Not necessarily. Actually, because I'm a professional athlete, it, you know, the whole thing happened and fit right into what, you know what I'm saying, the way we run our thing anyway. You know what I'm saying? When it happened, my wife said, I spent, I spent all my, what did she say? Anyway, something along the lines of, I waited all my life for this moment. I've trained all my life for this moment. And to say the least, you know, she's come through with this whole thing, passing with flying colors, you know. So, but we've homeschooled before. So, you know, when we had to switch it up, I was looking at my kids like, man, y'all lucky, man. I wish this would have happened when I was a kid. You know, have an extended spring break and through the rest of the year, and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But it really hasn't affected us too much. On top of that, I already had the pec injury, so I really wasn't out and about too much. So it didn't impact us too much. But on the other hand, you know what I'm saying, my wife she tested positive for it. And so you know, it didn't really affect us too much, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't just like any other sort of sickness, I guess.
Wow. Okay, so how long ago was that? And is she 100% recovered now?
Oh yeah. It only hit her for like 1 or 2 days, and then she was back to normal.
Man. And that quote you said, that was like inspirational, man. She said, I live for this moment, and she tackled it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, she didn't live for catching that shit, you know what I'm saying?
No, not that. Living for the moment of being prepared for her family and her kids and all that. Yeah. That's really, really cool. Here. Yeah. All right, here we go. When's the last time you watched the movie and it made you tear up?
Tear up?
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I don't think I've ever watched a movie and teared up.
Oh, okay. I like to ask all the fighters that question, because some of them will. Everybody kind of looks at you guys as these cyborgs, you know, that just are the toughest people in the world, which you are. But I know a lot of you guys, there's always that one song or a movie or something where like, all right, I'll come clean, man, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say the movie brought me to tears, but, you know, I have feelings. I have a soul that works and stuff, you know. You guys go, you know, I have a soul, you know what I'm saying? So any movie where they show those moments, you know what I'm saying, they over dramatize them, but not most. I don't even go say any movie, but one movie in particular, shit. Fuck, I don't know. A war movie? I don't know.
Okay.
I can't even think of it, to be honest.
No worries, Killer Gorilla. The movie Hoosiers makes me cry. It's an old basketball movie from the 80s. I don't know if you ever seen it. No. But it's a small school in Indiana that winds up winning the state championship. It's kind of like one of those David and Goliath stories. And for some reason, I always tear up. So it doesn't even have to be one of them sappy romance things or nothing like that. It can just be, like you said, a war. Well, actually, yesterday I saw Tears of the Sun, like at 4 a.m. I had insomnia with Bruce Willis. For some reason, I was a little moist in the eyes for that one.
Your hormones all jacked up, man. You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I know. Sometimes, man, I've been in this house for like 6 months. You know, our studio's at the Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas. We haven't been in there in the last 4 months, so tough times. Plus, I just turned 50, and I think I get a pass. Now I'm starting to get into like being the older guy. You know what I mean? I can put away that whole ego thing and the young guy stuff. Let's finish with this. A lot of our listeners love it when we find out something about a fighter that they may not have ever known. Like recently we had Ricardo Lamas on the show, and he told us about this African gray bird that he had that he lost for a moment, and then he wound up finding it. Dan Hardy loves to build Legos. DC loves pro wrestling. Uriah Faber's never taken an aspirin in his life. OSP, like playing with drones. How about you, Jared Cannonier? Is there something that would catch us by surprise that you enjoy doing that people don't know about?
I don't know, man. Everything I want to tell you, I can't. My mama already told me to stop talking about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Hell,
So you've already talked about it in the past?
To be honest, I don't do anything out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym, I train, I come home, spend time with my family. You know what I'm saying? Play some video games. You know what I'm saying? Try to read something, learn something new.
What's your best game? What's your best video game?
Well, I just got Ghost of Tsushima yesterday. Before that, I was playing God of War and Final Fantasy Remake and Spider-Man. But I just got that game yesterday, so I hear that one's really good. So I gotta see what all the hubbub's about.
You wear the headphones and talk to other people across the world, or is it a one-on-one game?
No, it's usually one-player games. The only game I had that was like really online like that was Anthem, and for like the first year and a half, I didn't have headphones, and then I tried the headphones, and my wife made fun of me, called me a nerd, and the headphones got broke somehow. So I haven't gone back and got another pair.
Did other people get under your skin, or were you cool with them when they were talking?
What was that?
Did other people get under your skin, like when they were talking to you, or were you cool with the communication?
No, Anthem. To be honest, I didn't dive in too much with the communication with Anthem. I only used it for like a week, and then I never used them again. But from what I can tell, the people in Anthem were just trying to play the game, not talk about how they banged your mom or anything like that. But to be honest, I don't play any of those other video games. I don't like playing shooting games. I don't like playing fear-based games. But that's not to say that I shy away from violent games. Like I just said, I play God of War, which is a pretty violent game. But anyway, that's
all right.
about it.
Man, you're an interesting cat. I really appreciate the time you've given us today. It's great catching up with you. To hear that you're 100% is awesome, because the middleweight division is really popping right now. We got Brunson versus Shabazian. They already set the date for Israel versus Costa. We just had Whittaker versus Till. You know what I mean? And of course, like I've been telling you, I think you should be in that conversation for the next run at whoever wins that title fight. So it seems to all be matching up. I know it's been a tough summer, but you made it through. So anyway, whatever fight you get, can't wait to hear what it is, where it is, and hopefully we can do a catch up on Fight Week or something like that. But in the meantime, thanks again for your time today.
Thank you. And you're right. I should be in the conversation, but as you can see, nobody's mentioning my name. So I'm not saying too much either, which is, the way I roll. But if I was fighting in the middleweight division, I wouldn't be looking past Jared Cannonier.
Exactly. I mean, look, David Branch is a former champ in a major promotion. He was a champ actually. Yeah. Anderson Silva's the legend. And then the Joker Hermanson was on fire, and you won that fight. So that's that's an incredible 1, 2, 3 coming from another division. Like I say, I'm not the matchmaker, but I know that's where I'd be penciling you in one of them top fights. Yeah. So hopefully it works out that way.
So that's what I'm saying. Contender fight or bust, championship fight. And that's what's happening. So we'll see. When you guys hear something, so yeah.
All right, cool. All right, thanks for the time. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you soon.